Awesome. Okay, so the weaves class was a sort of a comprehensive review on all the different kinds of weaves with a focus on the 3-beat weave. But I decided to follow Nick Woolsey's advice. He posted a video on his website a couple months ago on the value of the 2-beat weave. So I emphasized the 2-beat weave conceptually a lot, and then we focused on actually learning to do the 3-beat weave. I utilized a lot of different techniques for teaching the 3-beat weave. And to start, I actually didn't focus on weave at all. I focused on the basics of plane control and timing control. So the first thing we did was to learn the basics of plane with respect to our audience. So if you guys were my audience, I want to present my circles to you so that you can see my circles. And we went through the different planes, starting with wheel plane. It used to be called side plane, where I'm facing like a jumping rope sideways to the audience. And we went over the concept of going forwards and backwards in this plane. So forwards would be as if I was a car. This would be my wheels, and they're going forwards or backwards like that. And then we illustrated wall plane. Wall plane being like as if I was standing up against a wall and trying to keep my point parallel to my torso plane. And I just tried to emphasize the fact that it's actually the same plane. I want my audience to see my circles. I want to present the circles to my audience. So any plane that I work in, it's actually all the same. Side plane, wall plane, side plane, wall plane. I just try to get that everybody to understand that. And then we went over floor plane as a little review for the third type of plane, parallel to the floor. And then I illustrated that because this is a weaves class, doing a weave in side plane, doing a weave in wall plane, and doing a weave in floor plane. The 4-beat corkscrew is actually a weave. And then we set out to learn 3-beat weaves. I started with 2-beat weaves because they're easier. So I started by having everybody scratch that. Then we went over timing. Split time and same time. Split time and same time. We did that first. Then we went into weaves. A weave is a split time move. The poi are 180 degrees apart as you do it. And actually what I started with was having people just get used to figure 8 like this, in the side plane, and the wheel plane. And then I have them gradually break the figure 8 into a continually more and more split time move until we're in 2-beat weave. That worked really well. Everybody seemed to get that. So this is the 2-beat weave. The 2-beat weave is it's a split time figure 8. One hand stays on the top the whole time, and the other stays on the bottom directly. So like this sort of movement. And from the front, it looks like I'm drawing a figure 8 with my hands like that. So I'm doing a split time 2-beat weave. In this case, my left hand, because this is my good hand, stays on the top. And my right hand, which is my bad hand, stays on the bottom. But I can do it the other way, and you should learn it the other way. So we practiced doing 2-beat weave for a while. And once people got that, then we moved on to the 3-beat weave. And the 3-beat weave is simply a a reversal of the 2-beat weave. So from the 2-beat weave, we started by taking that motion and holding one poi in our hand and making a figure 8 to imitate the movement that our hands would do as we do a 2-beat weave. And then we practiced switching on the other side and going into an opposite 2-beat weave with the opposite hand on top. So my left hand, which is my good hand, was on top before, but now my right hand is on top, and I can keep doing a 2-beat weave. And then practicing switching and doing it again. And so the essence of a 3-beat weave is cross. You cross over with your top hand, and then you unwind your hands, and then you cross over again, and unwind, cross, and unwind, cross, like that. And so we practiced doing this until everybody was really familiar with it, and then we did it without the poi to make sure everybody had it. And then from there, just started doing it. A good description of the 3-beat weave, if you watch one hand, is it goes over, under, and out, over, under, and out. And the other hand does the same thing, but it's like a step behind. So that's going over, under, and out on the opposite side. And a few stragglers, I sort of took the intermediate step of having them hold the poi like we did originally, and then we practiced going like this. And doing the 3-beat weave motion with one poi, because if people are having trouble hitting themselves, and if you have trouble hitting yourself, it's usually you're going to hit yourself in the leg, or you're going to stop on one side and kind of get tangled. And so we practice developing timing for making sure to make the crossover without hitting yourself, or doing it too late and getting tangled up on the other side. And the best way to do that is to just maybe take one poi and exercise the movement that you practiced with no poi, with just one poi. And same thing, over, under, out, over, under, out, that, and then you do it with the other hand. Over, under, out, over, under, out. And another important thing to bring up is the fact that the poi is doing 2 revolutions on the crossed side. When my hand is crossed over to the other side of my body, it does 2 revolutions, and then it goes over to the other side and does 1. It does 2 on the other side, it does 1 here, 2 here. And then in the other hand it does the exact opposite. 1, 2, 1, 2, like that. Then we talked about counting, how to count a weave. It's how many times it crosses your leg on one side. So like this would be a 3-beat weave because it's crossing my leg on one side 1, 2, 3 times 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 versus a 2-beat weave, which is just 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, like that. And I illustrated the 4-beat weave. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, or the 5-beat weave, which is 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like that. And then we did turning exercises, just practicing turning from one side to the other. Really important concept. Making sure to understand the fact that when you're turning from forwards, you turn on the downswing in front of you, and when you're in reverse, and now I'm in reverse from my perspective, but for your perspective, the poi never changed direction. The audience doesn't see the change in direction. And if I turn in the opposite direction from reverse to forwards, I do it on the upswing. And you just sort of practice following the poi across your body, like that. And then we practice doing it split time, like that. And once you get that down, you can try doing it from a weave. So like this. And the best way to think of that is if you're doing a 3-beat weave, you as you cross over to the side that you want to turn towards, as it crosses over, you open your arms and then go into the other weave. So. And I always do that first because it forces people to learn the reverse weave by accident, and it's really funny. And then we went over reverse weaves. So, that's like 5 minutes, right?